How you going, guys?
Fantastic.
Awesome. I can see a couple of you doing your homework right now already. This is great for me. Nice. I like to see. Awesome. So welcome along to this seminar today called the Christmas Success Plan. So I guess some of the things we're going to talk about is, at the end of the day, people are going to drink, eat, socialise. There's all these factors going on, so let's be realistic and I guess set some targets for ourselves. So what are some questions that you guys might have, or why did you come here today? Fire away.
Because my husband made me.
There you go.
And Scotty made me.
Okay, take it there. What did you want to learn today? What did you want to take out of today?
How can I not be here in January going, oh, mate,
Yep.
we're back to scratch, aren't we? We're back at the starting point.
So why do you think you get to that point to go, why am I here? Why am I frustrated with myself? Yep, let yourself go.
And it's also handling the pressures around Christmas time, but we see them as good pressures, but as Shelley said, when you get here in January, you think, oh my God, you know, like,
Yep.
you know, I've got the ham, I've got the turkey, I've got the salads, I've got everything else, and then the champagne breakfast, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We come to your place.
It's how to balance all that over the period of time where you're not going to be here with the trainers and being made as accountable.
Yeah, cool. So I guess what I'm sort of sensing there is over holidays you're enjoying yourself, then you get back and you go, oh my God, I didn't realise I was going to be here. Is that sort of it there? Like you didn't realise
and
you
you get disappointed with yourself. Like we don't need to be beaten up by the trainers. We know we've let ourselves down.
Yeah.
As in, you know, I know that's part of your job,
Yeah.
and that's what you come here for. Like, and, you know, I enjoy that side of it.
Yeah.
But you know, you do. It does your head in, and it is really hard because everyone's having a good time, and you're seeing people you haven't seen for a while. And
Yep. And do you know what Vision's 4 E's are? 4 E's?
4 E's.
Yep, 4 E's. Vision 4 E's to success. Education's 1. Emotions. Exercise. Eating. Well done.
Well done.
So emotions being number 1. And what I sort of come back to here is it sounds like, similar to what Belle's saying, is expectations. So what expectations are you setting yourselves before the holidays to come back and go, oh shit, what is going on right now? Where am I? This is ridiculous. You know? So that's one of the things I want to sort of work through, because at the end of the day, I think that's what we've got to sort of assess here, is how do we set ourselves up? Do we set ourselves up to go, I want to lose a kilo over Christmas? Well, let's be honest, is it realistic to lose a kilo or 2 kilos over Christmas?
No.
No. So what should the goal be?
Maybe to
maintain.
To maintain.
Yeah.
So imagine if you maintain, don't lose any weight, and you don't put any weight on, how do you feel at the end of that?
That'd be a successful Christmas.
Fucking good, yeah. Pretty pumped. Yeah, of course. So some of these we're going to cover today. I'm going to get Ange to help me out today. The good old picker.
ready?
Yep, ready. These are our topics. To be realistic, efficient exercise, not exhaustive. Okay, so I guess, you know, when we're going out eating and so forth, not to feel like the next day you've actually got to slave yourself just to make up for it. So just some strategies around that. Plan to pick out. Let's be honest, there's going to be some big meals out there. Yep, there's going to be some big meals out there. If you've got any questions on the way, I want you to shout out. If you like the sound of something, I want you to tell me. If you hate the sound of something, I want you to tell me. Alright? So energy in versus energy out. Don't lose to booze. So I'm not saying don't drink. I'm just saying, just give you a few tips around when you are drinking. Okay? Just to make sure you're not putting that excess weight on. Take the focus off food and then make better bad choices. Love that. Awesome. So I get you to the next one, please, Ange. So you'll notice on the sheet there, the first question I have is, what are your top 5 priorities? So what I'll get you to do, some of you have already done it, but can I get you to have a think and list in importance from 1 to 5 what your top 5 priorities are, whether that is, and you might need to share the pens around unfortunately, whether that's career, family, health and fitness, reading, riding, you know, bike riding, who knows, whatever they are.
I brought my own.
Might be travel, anything, whatever order it is, from 1 to 5. Laura needs a pen.
Sorry.
She needs a pen. Look at Wendy, she doesn't know what side she wants to stand on. Have most of us done that there? I love it. So on the sheet in front of you, can I get someone to read out their 5 to me? And volunteer. Go for it.
I had lifestyle, family, holidays, financial security, exercise.
Okay, awesome. Cool.
Considered exercise is number 5.
No. So it doesn't matter what's on there, what order, but over this holiday, if you just go next one inch, please. So I brought this slide up just to be realistic, because at the end of the day, we're faced with, a lot of families are coming in. There's bigger meals, you're off work, so you're already in relaxation mode as well. So I guess, notice how Belle there, she had family. And a lot of time, this is a time when the family comes together and the social factor is eating food. But at the same time, she's got exercise on her top 5. So all of a sudden, and I'm guessing a few of you have got health and fitness on there as well, all of a sudden if you focus on that family, and maybe you're doing a bit more eating and so forth, then one of those values goes out the door. And if you ever realise, if one thing in your life is not going right, the rest of it's shit. Does anyone get that feeling? If there's one thing going on in life, the rest of them don't seem as great. Because all you're doing is focus on that one that's not going well. So all of a sudden your family's arrived, you're having a good time, but then because your exercise is going out the door, or maybe if nutrition's important to you, your food's going out the door, then all of a sudden you're getting frustrated and you start taking it out on, I guess, the people around you. So all of a sudden you're starting to crumble those things there. So I guess setting ourselves up for failure is, if you just go next 2 as well, please, Inch, is just to be realistic. So I guess keep the diet that you're on right now, because most of us, we're eating foods that should be enjoyable, taste good, eating at the right times, and also healthy for us. Because we're all looking for a weight loss result or a toning result, then we just got to really continue that and then focus on the foods that we're eating around those, I guess, extra times. Does that make sense? Yeah? Sort of? Kind of? Yeah. Awesome. And I guess a lot of the time we can beat ourselves up because we take 2 steps back and then we just get frustrated and don't even take any plunge forward. Alright, so I guess we just got to think, what have we got to start doing to get ready for next year? So that's why the next line there, I said, what are some three events or 3 things you're looking forward to in January or February, March that you want to, I guess, like New Year's resolutions. So maybe it's a fun run, maybe it's a certain adventure race you might want to do, anything like that at all, just to engage you in. So the focus is I'm doing next year. So over the holidays, all you're trying to do is just maintain the same weight and then progress from there. So has anyone got any three things there? Cool. Maybe it might be just to lose 2 kilos. So after the Christmas break, my goal is to lose 2 kilos. Because what I'm trying to do is take you out of that state there of going, oh no, I've put 1 kilo on, or I've eaten too much on this meal here. So at least you've got something to look forward to know that when I get back in the zone, I'm training for this event. And I know that when I train and I focus, I'm going to get to that goal as well. So just shifting that focus a little bit. Adrian, do you want to share your 3?
Okay. Half marathon in July next year.
Yep.
Holiday more frequently.
Yep.
And ride to Cancer August 13th.
Cool. Awesome. And notice how it's not all exercise related either, just one of them was travel as well, hey, holiday more. So just those things there, just to start engaging and focus on what's next. Because sometimes when things aren't going, I guess, the best, we can just get muddled up in that too much, and it's almost like you're sitting in a box and there's no escape. Yeah. Anyone else want to share theirs?
Yeah,
Do it. Awesome.
resolution walk.
Resolution walk, not run.
Yeah. Another holiday.
Yep.
I haven't even only halfway through this one.
Yep.
And then my third one I was going to put down was better balance at work.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. So these are the things we're just going to try and focus on for next year. So yet again, let's be realistic. These events are coming up. There's going to be alcohol. There's going to be food around, stuff like that. I guess it's just how we manage it. And with our focus, emotions being number 1, let's know that what are we looking forward to in next January, February, March type thing.
With that, so should we plan, and I know we mentally plan, but should we do our exercise every morning? Like, should that be something we do before we start
Yep.
the day, which can start badly if you are having a champagne breakfast or whatever.
Yeah.
We don't even drink champagne. But yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, I guess what I'm wanting to sort of know is, okay, if you can aim to do 30 minutes every morning, or is, like you've said, morning's better than night?
Yep.
You know, because at night you might feel a bit bloated or whatever, or I don't know. That's sort of what I'm trying to.
100%, and that's coming in the slides ahead.
Okay.
So I'm glad you brought that up as well, because that's the type of stuff we're going to bring in as well. Because a lot of time, exercise just kicks you into gear in the morning anyway. You know, I guess it motivates you to eat better during the day. So at night time, you might not eat as well. You know, so at least you're getting a bit more of a balance there. But I guess the main focus here is to go, let's be realistic, let's try and keep to the diet we're on right now, you know, so that the meals that, you know, you can control, maybe you're going out for lunch, so that means breakfast, morning tea, afternoon tea and dinner, in those days, you're eating how you normally eat, and it's only that one meal that you're not eating as well, okay, as opposed to going the whole day of just eating, you know, rubbish food. Yeah, just one check. It's all personalised there anyway. Next one, please, Ange. Cool. And go again. Go again.
That's me on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Is it? No, okay.
Go again. Keep
She
going.
plans to do.
Keep going.
One more?
Yep. One more.
One more?
Beautiful. Awesome. So I put this one in just to focus on exercise. Okay. Efficient exercise, not yeah. Next one. Not I guess exhaustive. So what's the best time to exercise?
Morning.
Morning. And why is that?
Yeah, fat
Get
burning
through
for
the everything from the day before.
Sets you up. Kickstarts metabolism. Yeah. Fat burning. All that. So
It's not as hot.
it's not as hot. Let's be honest. It's summer. You know.
Yeah. No, well, in the afternoon, it's still really hot.
Yeah.
And you sort of go, no.
It's the time to get in the pool then, but you do the other stuff early.
Yeah.
Yep. So ideally, when carbohydrates are present in your body, you cannot burn any fat. So let's say, for example, you woke up, had a banana, which is a high carbohydrate food, or even some oats or anything, and you go for a walk, then essentially you're working off those bananas and those carbohydrates. Whereas generally most of us, we've gone several hours with eating no food at all, so then you wake up, there's nothing in your system, and your body's only going to resort to burning fat. So number one, that's the best time there. Two, if you do 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes of exercise, that can help kickstart your metabolism and get you into a fat burning zone as well. So on the sheet at the very bottom there, at the very bottom I put 2 workouts. So if for some reason you're not near, you know, like you're in a hotel or you're traveling somewhere or you're on a beach, here are some exercises you can do just by yourself. And it's a circuit there. So you might do 12 to 15 reps, either the awesome workout or the epic one. And all you need to do is do those reps and then straight away, no rest, go to the next one. And keep cycling through that until you get to the end of the 8 to 10 exercises. Have a short rest and then do it again.
Should you exercise on empty stomach in the morning, or should you have something before you start exercising?
No. So if you're going for a fat burning result, you want to have nothing in your system. Yep. Because as I said before, if you've got something in your system, your body's going to virtually work on that. Yeah. So if you think of your body as if it's like a, like a petrol tank, okay? So all of a sudden you've got the fuel in there, so that's the carbohydrate. So let's say you had Wheat Bix or you had oats or you had a banana for breakfast, then when you're exercising, you're going to burn that down to the bottom, all right? And then you're going to start burning fat once it's empty, once there's nothing there at all. But if you start the day exercising and there's nothing there at all, then you're already going to start chewing through the fat. So number one, best exercise in the morning, straight away. And then what time should we wait after until we eat?
45.
45. Why 45 minutes instead of an hour? Someone be brave. Come on, Jackie.
What do you think is going into starvation?
Geordie.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Jill. So what happens is your body, once you finish exercising, it's still in that motion of fat burning. Once you get to the 45-minute zone, a hormone called cortisol kicks in, and that's when your body starts burning muscle, okay? And as we know, muscle is very important in the body because the more lean muscle tissue we have, the more energy you have, so the more fat you can burn at rest, okay? So therefore, we don't want to burn any muscle, and just that fat. So you might go for a half an hour walk, and then wait 45 minutes, and then eat some carbohydrates and protein as well. Cool, cool? Excited? Awesome. And also, don't feel that you necessarily have to do hard cardio, all right? A lot of the time, your body works better when you're doing low to moderate cardio, because what happens is when you're going hard out, it puts a lot of stress on your body, so your body's looking for every store of carbohydrate in your body, every little store, because it's trying to utilize that fuel. Whereas when you're doing low to moderate, it's almost like a simmer effect. So your body, if there's any carbohydrates present in your system, 50% will be carbs, and then 50% will be fat. Okay, but on from that as well, because you haven't leached your body right down, okay, you're going to have more of a post-burn effect. Yeah? So therefore, it's better to do low to moderate cardio in the morning than doing hard cardio every single day. Cool, cool? Awesome. And let's be honest.
This is low to moderate. This would be?
That's just like a quick pump up if someone's looking to work their muscles a little bit more. Okay? So that'll be a good one just to retain your muscle mass. Alright, because you're doing push-ups and stuff like that as well. But it's still got that cardio element. Alright? But if you're looking to just do cardio, to focus more on that fat burning, okay, then I go for a walk or like a light jog, just to make sure you got that low to moderate in as well. So I might do that workout maybe twice a week. Yeah. Cool.
Is there a good heart rate decision for you, like low to moderate? Heart rate.
Best way to test without doing one of these or those is if you're walking and you can talk to someone, okay, then you're doing some low to moderate. If you start huffing and puffing, okay, you're reaching more towards the hard cardio, and if you can't actually hold a conversation with someone, you know that you're more on the extreme end. So if you can hold a conversation while still exercising, that's the best bet.
He said Bill's the exception.
So for the clients that I've trained, if you've ever noticed how I put you on a machine and I just start talking ramble and I just ask you all these questions, you're going, this guy's just talking, when are we going to start exercising? And then all of a sudden you go, can't talk anymore. I go, now you work. Awesome, it's just that test. Just testing to see how hard you work.
So all these clients, you get to learn something?
Yeah. Yeah, boy, my tip. Yeah. Awesome.
What's the least amount of exercise you can do for it to be effective?
Alright.
You know, you said in the morning,
Yeah.
what was 5
This
minutes?
one.
You can do away 5 minutes or?
What was it that I said beforehand?
15.
Yeah, 15. Okay, so you do a minimum 15 minutes of exercise in the morning. That's enough to kickstart your metabolism, kick into the fat burning zone. That's why I said do the low to moderate cardio of doing a walk, maybe half an hour or an hour. But also, if you're strapped for time and you're in a hotel, you're in France or something that's freaking cold, at least you got that workout there. That should take you about 15 minutes. You've got 2 alternatives.
Sorry. When you're on holidays, you tend to sleep in more.
Yep.
And this is where sometimes my food gets very complicated. Because like obviously when you're here at work and in your program, you're exercising at 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. You've got your eating at 7, 10, 1, whatever it is.
Yep.
You're on holiday, so you're sleeping till 9.
Yep.
Are you saying then it's okay to still get up, do your light to moderate cardio at not like that late in the morning, then wait 45 minutes and start your meals from then?
Yep. So
that's still, so it doesn't matter when you start.
Yep. Yeah. So when you get up, you probably get about 4:35 o'clock at the moment. Hey?
At the moment, but on
At
holidays.
what time would you go to bed of a night?
Early.
Like
when I'm here.
Yeah, like
early.
8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yep.
So when you're sleeping into 9 o'clock, when were you going to bed?
8:30, 9 o'clock.
It's an age thing, Nathan.
I'm not a night person.
Cool. So what I would do is because that's a really good question, I look ahead and go, can I fit my 5 meals in the day?
That's where I run into trouble.
Yeah. Can I fit my 5 meals in the day? So let's say Belle can't. Okay. Let's say that if you got up at 9 o'clock, then you did half an hour, then you waited 45 minutes, and it's like 11 o'clock by then, and it's lunchtime.
A big lunch with your family by then.
Yeah. So in that case, what do you think Belle should do?
I have morning tea then. That's what I do. Have morning tea.
Have a shake before I go on an exercise? No, but then you shouldn't do that. I don't know.
I don't know. This is a really tough question. No. So
Just you're going to be you still eat every 3 hours, and if you're whatever your 3 hours, if you've only got 12 hours, you're going to miss a meal.
Yep.
She could wake up early with me, go for our run, and then you come back.
And that won't happen.
Yeah. So let's go with the example that Belle's wake up at 9 o'clock, all right?
Yeah.
So what I would say is, does exercise help you kick in the zone?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cool. So do your exercise and then screw the 45 minutes and then eat straight away.
Okay.
All right, so you're still going to get the benefit of that exercise session. You're just not going to get the post-burn effect. But what's more important, the post-burn effect or getting 5 meals in a day?
5 meals.
Jesus Christ, you guys should do a push-up for that one. It's too slow. Yeah, of course, 5 meals a day. All right. So So I would see that exercise session as getting your mind into focus. Alright, because a lot of the time it charges people in gear to go, yep, awesome, I'm going to eat well today, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy that social outing where I'm going to have a couple of drinks, but I'm going to eat really well on the rest of the times, okay? So wake up, do the exercise, then eat straight away, okay, and then continue from there. So at least then you're sort of working out and you're getting your 5 meals in as well.
What about with exercise? What do you call it? Because you're talking about low to moderate exercise.
Yep.
But like I went walking this morning, and so part of it would be easy, but part of it, yeah, don't talk to me because I couldn't. Going up and down. So I'm doing sort of moderate and then hard.
Yep.
So how does that work?
And that's really good because that comes into our interval training. Alright, so fast and slow. So what you're doing is you're virtually jolting that heart rate as well. Okay, so that's really good for fat burning as well. So I keep doing that too. Yeah, so you're getting your hard spurts and you're getting your soft spurts too. But on the whole, yeah, but on the whole, that would be low to moderate for you. Though, hey, you know, because you'll have a few hills where you're going, can't talk. Then you get to the top, and then once you go down, you know, I've seen you walk, you're all good. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like,
wondered how it all balanced out.
yeah. On the whole, I would still see that as sort of low to moderate. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It will more so be if you're going 30 minutes and you're going for a 30-minute run where it's hard the whole time.
What better
Yeah.
What about walking in a shopping centre? Does it hurt?
Around the car park. That's really bad. Up one aisle, down the next, pushing the trolley.
I've had people try and put in their food diaries.
That's in the same category as walking to the pub.
And walking home again.
Yeah.
That's part of the exercise.
No, you normally skip or cartwheel home.
Yeah.
Good question. I would distinguish between intentional cardio and unintentional cardio. Okay? That was something
It's the first day of a sale and you got to fight.
That becomes intentional cardio.
handbag wars.
Depends on boxing.
Let's be honest, if a shopping centre's open at 5 AM, they got some good deals or something. but I would still.
One day when that happens.
Yeah.
24 hours later.
It's true. I would still distinguish between intentional cardio and unintentional cardio.
Well, we could
and
all-
over this break here, you're doing cardio that you enjoy doing, and you're doing it to kick your mind into focus as well. So, as you guys know, 70% of the results comes from the food you eat, and 30% comes from exercise. When you really nut it down, if you're not exercising at all, and you're like Fab or you're like John who's decapitated right now. It's more like 90%. Your nutrition counts for more like 90% of your success. The reason I believe that it's 30% is the emotional connection it has with your food. Because generally, if you're not exercising at all, you feel a bit, I'm not motivated, so you're less motivated to eat well. Whereas when you exercise and step things up, you're probably more motivated to eat well. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yep, so that's where I bring into the 30% of exercise and the 70 nutrition.
Are you going to talk about portion sizes and stuff?
I'm just going to go into all that. Don't worry, girl.
She's just checking.
Yes, she did,
things.
didn't she?
I want to know, like, if you eat no more than your hand, then that's okay from now.
Yeah, okay.
And drinking beer at the same
Maybe
time.
you got a couple of Let's bring them all on. We'll share all the secrets. Tiny snacks. Beautiful. Well, let's just uncover this now, Bill. Okay. So, what I'm sort of covering here is, let's say you've got lunch, and you're going, oh, this is going to be a big lunch, so I'm just going to starve myself, or I'm going to get my body ready for this big meal, so I've got space, I'm not overeating. Okay? Now let's just break that down a little bit more. So a few of you might have seen this because I've probably drawn it a couple of times, and don't mind my skin there just there. But the way the metabolism works, and the way that if you're consistently eating well, let's go through this. So let's say, for example, you're like Michelle, and she gets up at 5 odd in the morning or whatever, but you eat at 6 AM, and the next meal you have is at 9 AM, and then 12, so you're eating every 3 hours. What essentially happens is the carbohydrates go into your body because the first 3 meals you're getting carbs, okay? The carbs go into your system, and it might take your body maybe 2 hours to break that down. And what happens is your body's like a fan. If you think of your fan, and as soon as you eat, kickstarts the fan and just starts chewing. Okay? So it takes 2 hours to break down those carbs, and then after that the fan switches off, but as you know, it just slowly keeps rotating until it stops. In this time here is when your body's burning fat. Okay? And then what happens is you eat again at 9 o'clock, might take your body 2 hours to break down, get the carbs in, and then all of a sudden, the fan stops, but it's got no other option but to start burning fat. Okay? So already, you're halfway through the day, and you've got 2 hours where you've done no exercise, done nothing at all. You might have just been sitting down, watching DVDs or chatting with family, and you've already burnt, I guess 2 hours worth of fat. So what do you think would happen if we didn't eat at 9 o'clock there at all?
The fan would keep going and just keep losing fat.
It would keep burning fat? What's that, sorry?
Starvation.
Yeah, starvation mode. Awesome. So what essentially happens is the carbs go in, your body's breaking down, the fan switches off, so you're burning fat, and then all of a sudden your body starts depleting and goes down and goes, oh shit. Okay, I'm in starvation mode right now. And so your body's hitting on this red line. Okay, and when your car's gone right down with the petrol and it starts to chug, your body's on the low, okay, so it's really depleting right down. And then all of a sudden you eat at 12 o'clock, and as opposed to using those carbohydrates as a fuel source, your body goes, okay, the past has taught me that Nathan starves himself, so I'm going to hold on to this food and utilise it as energy for the future. Problem is your body can't hold carbs, and it simply puts it on and stores it as fat. So that's how a lot of people can put weight on if they're eating 2 or 3 meals a day. So that's why I'd say is, let's say you're going out, you've got a big lunch or you've got a big dinner. That's why I'd say eat those meals leading up to it as well. Okay? So at least then what happens is when you do have that bigger meal, your body's got more of a chance to actually burn that energy source. All right? Does that make sense? Yes. Does that help? Yes. What do we take from that? We're going to eat more?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I find too, Nathan, if I have something before I go, like a wrap or something, because sometimes when you go to places, it takes them an hour and a half to cook, or by the time everyone's chatting and they're eating snacks, so you're more likely to snack on food.
Yep.
But if you're actually full, you don't really need anything. You don't tend not to have those snacks as well.
Yep. And that's a really good point, because what's happened is, let's say this water bottle's dropped right down, okay, and you're at the party and you're like, when's the food going to come out? I'm really hungry. So then you have the snacks and it goes up a little bit. Oh, I'm still hungry. A few more biscuits, a few more little bit of fruit or chocolates, whatever. Yeah, cheese goes up. And then all of a sudden your carbohydrate tank is almost full. And then you have that big meal and it goes, just flows over. Okay, and when it flows over that bottle, that's when you start converting fat as well. Okay, now the same thing is, let's say with this process you didn't eat there, and you starved your body for maybe 4 or 5 hours or 6 hours before that big meal, and the food goes in, and your body's not going to burn it at all, and that's when it just tips over. Okay? So rule is keep those regular meals, because also, as Lauren said, you're going to be more full as well, so you're not going to want to eat as much. Yeah? You look concerned.
Yeah,
She's got a lot of homework.
no, I am. I'm taking it all in. I'm thinking of the food in the fridge at the coast. So am I eating carrot sticks, or have I got in the fridge? Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So let's say for dinner, okay, Mum has cooked a big pastry pie or a pasta, and the whole family's there, and it's a tradition to have every single year. Do we eat carbohydrates for our first 3 meals, and then protein in the afternoon, and then that big dish at night? Or do we just have protein all day until that meal there?
No.
Talk to me.
Do the regular meals and
Yep. Why?
Because otherwise you're going to get into starvation mode, and when you have those carbs at night, it's just going to go straight into fat.
Yep. So we follow that, guys? Okay. So what Narelle and Adrian are saying is, if you didn't put carbohydrates in your body and you just had protein, the benefit of that is you're going to retain the muscle, okay? Because protein runs out of your system every 3 hours. That's another reason why you got to eat, okay? So you retain the muscle, but by the time it comes to eating those carbohydrates at night, you might have gone 10 hours of having no fuel source for your body just freaks out and goes, oh, you're going to hold on to it. And then it's worse because it's night time, you're not even moving. You're going to bed, you're winding down, or unless you're having a couple of drinks, then you're just... But generally, you're winding down, So all of a sudden you've just stored it. And have you ever, can you actually feel that? You know, my body type's an ecto-meso, and with that body type you're very reactive. So if I do a weight session, I can fill this shirt up, you know, but then in 2 hours I can lose the shirt again. It's very depressing, right? But at the same time, is sometimes through the day I'm a bit naughty, and Ange gets up me, is if I've got meeting after meeting after meeting, I don't get a meal in, and so by the time I get to the afternoon, I eat, and I can just feel my stomach bloat out. That's the extreme. That's just the extreme of that particular body type, but it's happening to everyone, whether you can feel it or not. And some of you probably can feel it. Is when you go without for such a long time, your body goes, oh, just almost bloat out, whether it's healthy food or bad food. Does anyone feel that at all?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. So yet again, make sure the first 3 meals. So we've got breakfast. First 3 meals are carbs and protein. Morning tea, carbs and protein. Lunch, carbs and protein. Afternoon tea, protein. Dinner, protein. Okay, and if you had supper as well, you're going for more of a protein item.
Yeah, that worked when I was in Townsville because, unbeknown to me, we were going out to dinner on the Sunday night,
Yep.
and turned up, it was a friend of Gemma's, and he cooked pasta. I hadn't eaten pasta in years.
Yep.
But I just continued on with normal stuff all during the day,
Yep.
so I didn't feel too bad. Didn't eat like some of the boys ate 3 platefuls of stuff. I only had 1.
Yep.
Yeah, and I felt reasonable. Then we walked home from afterwards, so that was good too.
Yep. Awesome. So I want you to see this here, this term, as charging your body up. Alright? You're charging your body up, you're strengthening your metabolism, so that when you do have, whether it's good carbs, bad carbs, or alcohol, you've got a stronger chance of cutting that down. Yeah? That's our key term. Let's all write it down. Charging. My knee button. Okay? So what essentially happens is the first 3 meals of the day, generally we're more active, we're moving around more, whether that's, you know, emotionally exerting ourselves or physically exerting ourselves, walking around the shopping centre, you know, doing this, doing that, blah, blah, generally moving around, okay? So all the carbohydrates you have in the day, one, you're going to get those moments when you're burning a bit of fat, but also, all this is going to fuel you in the afternoon, alright? But in the afternoon, when you're not actually putting any intentional carbohydrates in, being breads, rice, pasta, fruits, okay, your body's got more of a chance to focus on that fat when you're starting to slow down, okay? Because obviously over an evening, you're making dinner, or you know, you're putting the kids to bed, you're watching a bit of TV, and you go to bed yourself as well, okay? On an average night. You know, I know this will be
Is that
different.
applied for every body type?
What's that, sorry?
Is that applied for every body type, or
Yes, most of us,
or for losing weight?
yeah, for losing weight, yep. For me, for example, if you're, like someone like Jackie, for example, you know, I would say have a little bit of carbs in the afternoon, okay? Just because if your body fat percentage is a little bit low, so there's not as much body fat on your body, okay? Obviously your body's not going to have as much to burn off, all right? And you've got yourself to a point where your metabolism's a little bit faster, all right? So there's more muscle on your body, so you're going to burn that energy you put in so much quicker, okay?
Quick question. I occasionally use light and easy.
Yep.
In the evening, you know, I'd always get a served rice or a served potato.
Yeah.
It'll be in the balance of three grams of meat.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Or just,
Do you think it is?
if you don't eat it, you starve. You know, you'd rather eat something.
Yeah.
And
So what do you think you should do?
Like, I usually have like a 1,200 calorie per day light and easy.
Yeah.
And that's just enough to eat.
Could you go to the shop and get something else? Only thing is light and easy Weight Watchers, those things, and you can even see them at Coles sometimes as well. That's why you got to jump on a shopping tour too. Is if you turn that over and you look at the carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The carbohydrates in some of them are around 50 to 70 grams just for that dish, and that's because it contains rice, some of the sauces as well. You know, you've got the veggies, you've got some of the good meats as well. But that dish there you mentioned, I would have more of a lunchtime type thing. Yeah. Yeah. So what I would say is if you had like a lean chicken breast, some turkey, a bit of a steak or something like that, and then have some veggies or salad. Yeah. I'd promote more of that. That's possible.
Just eating more veggies, different low carb veggies, and experimenting with different types of veggies.
Yeah, so if in what they've got, because I don't know the light and easy menu, but if in there there's something a bit more, I guess carb friendly, because I would sort of promote having less than 10 grams of carbs for dinner, all right, and that comes in the equation of is when you're having even green veggies, they all add up a little bit. So by the time you have a little bit of sauce, whether that's soy sauce or oyster sauce or something in your dish, it's always going to equate up to almost 10. So by the time you add the sauces, a little bit of the meat, and then the veggies and salad. Yeah. So, any questions? Does that help at all? Yep. Go. When you're next at home, look on the back of them. Some of them are quite high. I remember I was on a shopping tour once, and I picked one out, and then I also had a client, Stephen, go over, and he picked up some pies, and the Light and Easy had more. So it was Weight Watchers. Weight Watchers had more carbs than the actual pies did. Yeah, so it's quite high. Awesome.
Can you talk about the water, soda water?
So when you are at a party, then, like Lauren made the comment before about the pre-party snacks, so maybe have a wrap beforehand or eat up to it as well, so as long as it fits into that too. But when you are out, just try and, if you're drinking alcohol, maybe drink water in between. Yeah, water or soda water, something like that as well. Just so you're not, I guess, pinching out over the whole night.
If you have soda water with a sliver of lemon or lime in it, it looks like you drink.
Yeah.
Or diet cordial.
Just fill them. Diet cordial.
No, but they know me. They know it's soda water.
Because you tell everyone.
Sparkling mineral water in a champagne glass looks like champagne. You can get away with it, being a champagne, and you can fool some people if you need to.
Yeah. Little things like that, eh? Cool. And then you got to work out first whether you want to drink or whether what's your intentions on the party. So we're going to come to that very soon anyway. Can we go next one, please, Ange? Next one, please. One. Yep, that's it. Groovy. Awesome. So energy in versus energy out. All right. If you know you're in for a party, and maybe there's a lot of snacking food or there's some alcohol, then maybe do a little bit more exercise that day than you would. Okay. And who knows what an accelerated day is? Someone give me an example of an accelerated day and what it is.
0 to no carbs.
Yell it out, Lauren. Yell it out.
0 to no carbs.
Yep.
Like low carbs, high protein.
Yep. And what's the benefit of that day?
To kickstart your body.
Yep. Cool. Kickstart your body and also put yourself in more of a fat burning zone. This is great if you're doing this on a long-term thing. Okay. Have you ever heard of people go on those Atkins diets or where they're virtually depleting themselves down to less than 30 grams of carbs a day and it's just all protein? What happens?
They put it back on.
And they lose a lot of weight. They look great. They lose a lot of weight. Yeah. But how realistic is it to have no carbohydrates forever?
It's not.
It's not very realistic.
Depends if you want to puncture it.
Yep. So it's virtually them doing this every meal of the day. But as you know, we get into starvation mode, and once you've lost all that weight, most of you probably know someone who has lost the weight and then put it all back on because they've gone back to what they're eating beforehand, or they've gone back to just eating normal carbohydrates. So if you did this one day a week, it's not going to have a massive effect. All right. Because if you're doing that consistently, then it's almost like you're on a bike. You're spinning the wheels, okay? And then for one day you stop, but the wheels are still spinning, you're still rolling, and then the next day you just keep on catching on. Yeah? It's only when you literally keep spinning and then you stop and you do accelerated days for several weeks and then all of a sudden kick it back in. That's why when people are training for sports model comps or we've got a couple of clients every now and then that really want to drop those last few kilos. But if they do go for 2 weeks of no carbs, it's really important how they bring the carbohydrates back in. Okay? But for this one here, for your Christmas break, if you're going out and having drinks at night or you're going to have a bit of a bigger meal, then maybe have a bit of carbs for breakfast and then do protein for the rest and have an accelerated day. Okay?
Is that like an accelerated day the day after? Or when would you have it?
So what I'd say is let's say tonight you're drinking, okay? So Saturday afternoon, you're having your no carbs,
Yeah.
right? And then tomorrow morning, then do an accelerated day.
Yeah, so the next day.
Yeah. So what's happening is your body's got more of a chance to burn that fat, okay? And burn what happened last
And
night.
your afternoon tea, you know, your protein meals and everything, you've got all those ideas of what to eat on the website.
Yep.
There's like meals that we can just pick the protein out of.
Yep. Let's go through a few together right now. So what's just give me 2 examples of a breakfast. What someone has for oats. Yep. With what?
I have it with a bit of yogurt.
Yep. Why'd you get that?
But no, that's right or not?
You think it's alright?
I put protein powder with my oats.
Is yogurt good for us, Ange?
Yeah, it can be, depending on how high carbohydrate it is. But
Which
it's like
side?
Low fat.
Yeah. So let's evaluate which one are you having.
The Delight. Or
The
Soleil.
Soleil.
What is it?
It's a low fat.
For me or
Yeah,
the
it's
Nestle?
one-
The Nestle one?
Soleil.
What colour is it? Is it
Yellow.
Yellow? Awesome, lovely. That's Nestle.
Yeah.
The Nestle Soleil,
Yeah.
Soleil, Soleil. whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's more of a lower end, okay? So that with oats, good mixture. Well done. Maybe put a bit of protein powder as well, as Adrian said, and one you get also a bit of a chocolatey taste if you have chocolate, but also you're getting that protein count in. Okay, so remember, before breakfast you're going several hours without having any protein as well. And how often does protein run in your system?
3 hours.
3 hours. Awesome. Cool. All right. So make sure breakfast you have that protein as well. What's another option? Fruit and yogurt. What fruit?
Well, you're going to have, in summer, you're going to have mangoes, cherries.
Yep.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
So ideally, how high should our carbohydrates be for breakfast? 15 grams, 20 grams, 25 grams, 30 grams, 35 grams, 40 grams. Where do you think, on an average person, where do you think we should sort of max out?
25.
Yep. Cool. 30? 30?
33 and a third.
So we go breakfast, I'd say 25/30. Okay? Jesus, that's a lot. But just think, how many grams of carbs are in 2 Weet Bix? Is that 21.2? Something like that, 21.2?
Approximately, exactly.
Approximately, yeah, 21.2. And then if you're having a little bit of milk as well, alright, then ups it a little bit too. Okay, so that's going to hit that 25. If you're having oats, how much does 30 grams of oats have, carbohydrates? 18 grams. Come on guys, know your macros! Yeah, 17, you're close. Within 1 gram, well done, awesome. We have a jump quiz on Monday, and I'll read questions out to the guys, they've got to answer it, and if we do nutrition, they've got to get within 1 gram of that thing. So Michelle, you just would have won yourself a point. 17 grams, well done. So yeah, so let's say you had some oats, a bit of yogurt, and some fruit. Okay, so the yogurt, if you're having 100 grams of that, it's about 9 grams. Okay, so that's already going to bring it up to almost 30 as well. Okay, so there's some good options already. Yeah. Protein, have about a 30 gram, like if you had a scoop, like a scoop of this protein is about 23 grams, so I'd keep around that mark too. Good. Morning tea, what
about bacon and eggs for breakfast?
Actually, no,
So-
because you know,
I have-
Christmas, you do have like poached eggs, like you can have 2 poached eggs on multigrain toast.
Yeah. So we laugh, but is that good or is that bad?
Not that bad.
Poached
I
eggs
have
on multigrain.
scrambled egg on
Yeah.
toast for breakfast.
I don't know why you guys laughed.
I'm not going to eat bloody horse food.
Yeah. So yet again, with the goal of us is, and one of the things that Bill actually wrote down, number 1 is lifestyle. All right, so that can come in the equation of I want to, have a balance between my family, my exercise, my career, my rah-rah, as opposed to all being focused on career or all being focused on health and fitness. So yet again, we need to be eating foods that are natural and normal. So at the end of your journey, you just keep doing the same thing. Okay? So it's a lifestyle change. So let's start looking for foods that you enjoy eating, and that's going to become what you do in the future as well. So bacon and eggs, provided you get rid of the fat, is all good. With the yolk.
Ham and eggs probably better.
What's that, sorry?
Ham and eggs maybe.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what I
Jane
do.
fries up ham
Yep.
and puts it on the wrap with a poached egg, and it's beautiful.
Yep.
I go there all the time for breakfast.
Cool. So option is you have the bacon, cut away the fat, or you have some ham. okay, because that's a little bit more lean too. Get the poached eggs, or you might have a couple of boiled eggs and you might just throw away the yolk for a couple of them. Do you guys know how much fat is in a yolk? 5? 5? Did you go 5?
7.5.
Yeah, it's between 5 and 7 grams, all right? And that's saturated fat, and that has got no use for the body in any way, shape, or form. So I know a lot of time people feel guilty because they're like, oh, I'm throwing away money. But how much do you spend on your health and fitness and all that sort of stuff to get yourself to a point where you're actually happy with your body? And then all of a sudden you spend that money, but then you put saturated fats in you, which stops you from where you're wanting to go as well. Okay, so it's, you may as well throw away.
I look at it, it's better in the bin than in your body.
Yeah.
And you go, so it's better than, you're better to have it in the bin than it holding on to and turning into fat.
Where does saturated fat sit in your body?
On your thighs. around your vital organs.
Yeah, around your vital organs and arteries and stuff like that. So, yeah, not cool. Morning tea, have we got a couple of options?
Right here.
A wrap.
Yeah.
Gangster wrap, yeah.
Wrap.
And what's in this wrap?
Yeah, go right.
Yeah, but what's in the wrap?
Ham.
Who would get anything but a go wrap? Let's be honest. Who here has not had one of those red wraps up there? Put your hand up. Let's be honest, seriously, guys.
And you're allowed 3 of them a day, aren't you?
Where?
Just not, yeah. Do you like
You
it?
can get them up here. They're great.
Yeah.
Is that right? 3 of them a day you're allowed?
I would do 2.
2, yep. So do you know how many grams of carbs are in one of those wraps?
Sorry, so the wraps.
10, isn't it?
Yeah, just up here. $5 a pack. What's that?
10.
You're just outside.
11.1.
Look, if you said 10.1,
That was what I was going to
I'll give you
say.
a high 5.
Yeah.
11.1. All right. So for morning tea, and what would you have inside that wrap?
I would have ham again.
Ham.
Yeah, I'd have a bit of salad.
A bit of salad as well. Yep. Yep. Salmon, peanut butter, yep, all those sort of things. So for morning tea, how many wraps can you allow yourself to have?
1.
Well, it depends if you're having any others during the day.
Yep. So,
See, I would have the wrap and then I might have a handful of almonds or something.
yep, so, okay, let's work it back this way. How many grams of carbs should you have for morning tea?
25.
Yep, cool. Let's hit around that 25, groovy. Alright, so yet again, how many wraps can we sort of afford to have?
2.
Yeah, 2. Awesome.
Depending on what you put on.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
by the time you put the salad in, that'll slowly equate up to 20 to 25. Alright, or you might have 1 wrap, and you might have like a small bowl of fruit, which will get you up to that 25. Okay, next is lunch.
What about for morning tea, like fruit and yogurt?
Yep, 100%. So that's another alternative as well. I put a bit of protein powder in that as well, just so you up that amount. But yet again, how often does protein run out of your system?
3 hours.
Awesome. I was waiting for you to tell me. Yep, so fruit, yogurt, that might be a good alternative. Lunch. Burgers on Lindsay. Yep. Anything else?
What on it, Jackie?
All meat, chicken,
Chicken.
tuna,
Yep.
roast beef,
Roast loves that roast beef.
salmon.
Yep. We're all, let's be honest, we all know what to eat for lunch, Make sure you're having, like, if you're having a sandwich, get something like a burger on Lindsay, something like that. For afternoon tea, who's got a couple of ideas? Yeah, sorry. Yeah. For lunch, I'd say about 25, or 20 to 25. For afternoon tea, what is ideal for us to have carbohydrate-wise?
No.
No carbohydrate.
Less than 10 grams.
Less than 10, or what's the highest?
10. Less than 10 grams of carb.
I always say for afternoon tea is to have less than 15/10. Okay? Just in case, so depending on the different body types, alright? Depending on the different body types, if you need to put a bit more of a fuel source in your body, you might be having a bit more, like a bit of fruit, for example, which might bring you up to 15. Okay? Whereas if you're really wanting to drop some weight, then you stick around that 10. Okay? So what are some ideas for afternoon tea?
Tuna, cottage cheese, and tuna.
So tuna and some kiwi fruit, cottage cheese,
Tuna
and almonds. Yep.
Don't mix it all together.
Pistachios.
You try.
Just be really mindful of that fat as well and how much you have too. Pistachios are great because they're restrictive. You know? So there's something you want to open up before you go, oh, had enough. Yep.
You can buy them already peeled.
Yeah.
What else? What's a really nice afternoon? What's a really nice afternoon tea that you're eating right now?
Rock melon.
Rockmelon. Yeah. What's something that's a bit more protein dense?
Protein bar.
Protein bar. Yep. Something more natural. Protein. Yep. Bit of ham. Chicken breast. Yep. So you can almost afford to have something like a chicken salad, or you know, like a bit of ham and eggs or something like that as well. You know, so I try and steer away from the protein bars and protein shakes. Let's be honest, we want to eat natural, normal foods, and if you've got the time to prepare some food, then you might make a big chicken salad and then have it on Wednesday and then have it again for morning tea, but have some cruskets with it as well, or have that in a wrap, you know. So if you had a chicken wrap in the morning with chicken wrap and salad, you might have the exact same thing in the afternoon, but without the wrap. Yeah. So try and think of more dense meals that are not little fill-ins, but they're actual ones you're sort of preparing. Yep. And then dinner, of course, you know, we're looking at salads or veggies, fish, salmon, chicken breasts, turkeys, stuff like that. Yeah. Cool. Another one that I like is you're looking for a dip. I love making, when you get avocado, cottage cheese, a bit of lemon, a bit of pepper, and some chili flakes too. You mix that around, and you use that as a dip, and it tastes amazing. Awesome. You get your cruskets, or you get your Vitaweeds, that's awesome. Just try it.
What avo?
Avocado,
Cottage cheese.
cottage cheese, and lemon, and a bit of pepper, bit of chili flakes. I'm a person, I don't actually like cottage cheese by itself, but mixed in with something else, mixed in with that, it tastes awesome. Being honest.
Do you need to move on now? Because I've got
Oh yeah, I can do it.
See?
Yeah, thanks Ange. Round of applause for Ange, how about that? Clicking for us, yeah. Awesome. Sorry guys, it's 9 o'clock now. I'm still keen to keep going, but if you need to go, then just let me know. And also, just right there, enjoy but don't indulge.
Thanks, Nick.
Alright, thanks Jack. Enjoy but don't indulge. So, if you do have a big thing, shake shell. If you do have a big dinner, or you have a big outing, or let's say, you know, you're cutting a birthday cake or something like that at all, then enjoy it, but it doesn't mean you have to go overboard. Okay?
It should be overindulged.
What's that?
Is that what you mean? Enjoy but don't overindulge?
No, just don't, don't overindulge, but just don't go overboard. Just enjoy it, but just know that there's a limit. See you guys, thank you.
All or nothing.
Cool. Don't lose the boost. How good's this photo?
Yeah,
Clearly I've made some bad decisions.
Oh no.
Awesome. So, when you are going out, just be aware that alcohol does lessen your inhibitions, and it does, I guess, cause a lot of people to overeat as well. Okay, so with what Lauren said beforehand, try and eat before you go out. Okay, because that might be a good prevention tool as well. And also just be aware, like if you are going and having soft drinks instead of alcohol, that they can contain a lot of carbs and sugar and stuff like that too. Okay, so just really be aware of that.
What about when you're cooking with alcohol?
When you're cooking with alcohol, what do you mean?
So how does that affect, like nutritionally? Because if you're cooking with it, you're altering it in that. You know, like if, say if you do crêpe Suzette, for example, and you flame it,
I know exactly what that is. Yeah.
orange peanut. Yeah, but you're actually flaming some of it and you burn off the alcohol content, so does that alter things?
To be honest, I don't actually know too much about cooking with alcohol because I guess that's one of my downfalls because I don't drink much alcohol at all, so I don't cook with it. What I do is I have a chat to Fabi and I'll I'll let you know.
Because I don't drink.
Yeah, you cook with it. Yeah. I'm not sure what it does nutritionally to the food. So I don't want
Makes rumbles taste really nice.
yeah, so I
No,
don't
if you haven't actually, that's still high because there's no cooking involved, so it doesn't alter the structure.
Yeah.
But if you heat it and burn it off, how does that change things? That's
Yeah, I'll let you know. I just don't want to give you a half answer.
no, it's good.
I think if you heat it and then light it,
Yeah.
that burns it off.
Might evaporate.
What's that, sorry?
It might evaporate. Might disappear.
So you're only left with flavour instead of
The alcohol.
alcohol.
Yeah, okay. Nathan's need to know. Awesome. Now also recognising the body, that your body recognises alcohol as a VIP macronutrient. Okay, so out of all your macros being carbs, protein, and fats, alcohol is seen to be in the body as a toxin, and it wants to get it out as soon as possible. So anything you consume at the time of drinking, whether it's carb, if you're having carbohydrates, then your body's not going to, I guess, process that at all. So the carbs are just going to sit there automatically until all the carbohydrates are out, until all the alcohol's out of your system. So yet again, if you are drinking, try not to snack on the cheese and bickies too much, okay? Because otherwise it's just going to be like a double effect. You'll be very disappointed.
I'm okay with that.
Coping, all right?
Yeah. Alright.
Think about my problem is like if I'm drinking, I don't need to drink a lot anyway, I have 2 or 3, but think around 12 o'clock at night, I'm starving, like I really want a chicken bed.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there another option, or is it okay, or what, you know, like always wanting carbs or something real fatty?
Yeah, that's a really hard one because, you know, when you are drinking, your body just sends you those signals and so forth, okay? But at the end of the day, if you have that chicken kebab, just know that those carbohydrates are not going to be utilised in any way, shape or form, and it's going to be stored as fat.
It's going to sit on your ass.
It's going to sit on your ass, right? And if you can get, you've got to eat a protein. You've got to eat a protein meal. Like a couple of clients that when they've gone out drinking in the past, I've told them to get, a couple of clients that have gone out in the past and have had a big night, I said when you get home at 3 in the morning, have a protein shake and then go to bed. Right? Because at least then there's protein sitting in your system, and that'll be going to your muscles to still keep your muscles working and alive. Okay? Yeah. Otherwise, like, look, if you're at a party and they got some chicken breast, yeah, it's really, you know, like you've just really got to look for some sort of protein source, because any
Where's the protein?
yeah, because any carbohydrates that you do have, like even if you had fruit at 12 o'clock at night around when you're having drinks, then yeah, unfortunately, as Belle says, I'll see on your hands. Okay? Yeah. Cool. So this one here, I put down, take the focus off food. A lot of time, you know, food just brings people together as a social gathering. You know, but if you've got, you know, you've got the time off work. A lot of time, you know, this year for a lot of people it's been quite stressful and overwhelming and just been massive. That's the theme I've heard. You know, 2012 has just been huge. You know, so now you've got the time off, then share it with those loved ones and the kids or your partner and so forth that you haven't had beforehand. But do you always have to base it around food? I guess is the question. You know, so take the kids out. You know, you might have an unintentional cardio session of just playing cricket with the kids in the park, or running around, you know, just playing a little bit of footy or throwing the frisbee or something like that at all. You know? Yeah. So all it is just to really engage and, you know, enhance those relationships that I guess you hadn't been around time-wise as much beforehand. You know, utilise those 2 weeks or so. Does anyone have anything from there? Any comments? Go to the beach, run round. Exactly, look at that. An indoor alternative. Twister.
But a clean one.
You got a sick bloody mind.
Awesome. Cool, last one. So make better bad choices, okay? If you can, if there are certain situations you can control, then do your best to control them, right? Because a lot of the time, we get shocked when we turn up to parties and we thought that there was going to be an option for us, and then there's nothing at all, and you go, oh my god, fine, that's it, done. I'll just, and you shovel it through, right? Because a lot of time you're just overwhelmed by that emotion of not realising that you had control, and you just go overboard, okay? So sometimes we've got to plan for the unexpected. And if all of a sudden you do get to some sort of party and that there is all this food on the table, and you go, what the hell am I going to eat at all? Try not to freak out, just take a step back and just assess yourself first. As opposed to just reacting, getting frustrated, just jumping in. Because then all of a sudden you've lost your expectations, and you get to January and you get in that disappointed face. Okay, so that's just what we're trying to prevent here. So, if you can, bring your own healthy dish to some sort of party. You know? And there's plenty of meals you can prepare that people don't go, oh, that's just not a healthy item. You know? Plenty of them. And if you go on to Club Vision, you can find those there as well, because that's what Vision is designed for, is for more of a lifestyle change, as opposed to being on a restricted diet too. Okay? So I'd utilise that service there too. Every now and then, Ange and I pop on a couple of meal plans on the board there, and they don't look too attractive because they're not in colour, but
No, they're good though.
yeah, you know, so check those out. You know, and also prepare some of your favourite dishes that might be lower in fat and also calories too.
I like that as a challenge then. When you read a recipe and you go, okay, but I can substitute this and do that.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden you've got a plate and you might have a bit of your good stuff and maybe a little bit of the bad stuff, but at least it's not a plate full of, you know, I guess, the choices that are going to make you feel frustrated later on that night to go, oh god, I can't believe I ate all that food. You know? And then you wake up and go, fine, I'm just going to sleep in tomorrow, can't be screwed, you know, there's too many plays going on, rah rah, you just get into that phase there. So what's that? Oh, I'm just going to talk about it at the very end, which is right now anyway. Has anyone got any questions? Yeah, cool. So I was just going to say, normally those are $50, but we got 2 weeks off, so if anyone wants to buy some protein, we're going to sell them for two for 80. Anyone's keen? Set?
I also think because we're having like the next 2-3 weeks off of work and usually into a routine and that sort of thing, I think it's good to actually make like exercise fun. Like I want to meet up with some friends and actually do it on a weekly basis in between. So if you make it fun, you're more motivated as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you actually, because you're not working and because you're on holiday, your routine's totally out of whack. So you're a bit more unmotivated. But if you're meeting up with a friend, you're sort of more motivated to go for a walk than you would if you were going by yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that's important as well.
Yeah,
make
definitely.
It fun.
And that's something that I apologise, I didn't mention in the previous slide there as well. Is you know, I know I base that a lot around family and taking the kids out and so forth as well. That's a great point right there. Trying to find ways to engage with friends and family members too, in a way that's not just, I guess, relying on once you're out of routine, just going for a type thing. So just finding those options where you can go out and do rock climbing or go for a walk or
Okay, kayaking.
So I would advise against that because your body works on, I guess, the foods you put in. So when you put the solids through, it creates a lot of energy. Your body's having to break that down and process that to the right stores. Whereas when you have a shake, it goes in your system and it revitalises your protein stores, but it's not actually working your metabolism in that sense because you're not having to break it down. So notice before how we drew this up, and I said, once you put the food into your body's having to actually break that down. So, when you have a, when you've got a fan and you're spinning, and then all of a sudden you're a kid and you put your hand in the fan. Come on, someone, of course you've done it. I definitely haven't. You're going along, and if it's going really fast, and all of a sudden you put your hand and you go, it just gets chucked right out. That's what happens when your metabolism is going so fast, it's just chewing that food. When you've got a slow metabolism and your fan's on maybe setting 1, and it's just slowly just going like this, and you put your hand in, boom, it just hits it, and it kicks, okay? So that's when you have a slower metabolism, because it's virtually going to stop it, alright? So, to work that more, you need to put more of that solid food in, so that every time it kicks it, it wants to hit it even harder to chew it, so every time it keeps kicking around. Does that make sense?
So when's the best time to do that?
Straight after a weight session, okay? Because what's happened is when you do weights, you
But over the Christmas period.
Yeah, but let's say you did do a weight session, okay? You tear the muscle fibers apart. When you eat, it repairs and it regrows and it joins more together. The next time you work out, it tears apart, you eat some protein, carbs, regrows, it goes together. So when you're doing the weights and it tears apart, protein shake's great because it goes straight in the system straight away, and then when you get home, I'd go and have some actual food too. If you are, I guess, on the run and you don't have time to prepare some food, then I'd say have a shake, if it was in the afternoon, and maybe have some nuts at the same time as well. So at least then you've got the liquid in to source the protein side of things, but you've got some solids there, so your body's actually having to break that food down too.
You're making better choices with the types of carbohydrates that if you were going to make something that is based on flour, get something that's more wholesome or something that your body has to really work with, rather than the refined.
And as you said beforehand as well, like with your cereals, that's a great time to put that protein powder in there as well, because you get that taste, but you also get those high protein levels as well.
Is there a limit to how many protein shakes you have a day?
How many are you having right now? Yeah, cool, awesome. I keep it 1, maybe 2, okay? Just because yet again, focus on more of that lifestyle change, having more of the natural normal foods. I wouldn't go past that too much. Because a lot of people sometimes, it affects everyone different. You can sometimes feel bloated or a bit gross if you're having too many shakes in a day. Cool. Any other questions? Awesome. Thanks guys. Well,